Let's take a look at splits. Now, in performance mode is where you can combine multiple sounds to accomplish your goal. Performance mode, you have up to 4 simultaneous arpeggiators. Now, an arpeggiator used to be just up and down flourishes, but now arpeggios can be much more. They can be musical arrangements, if you will. The arpeggio engines, and there are over 6,700 arpeggios on board, is chord intelligence and has come quite a long way in terms of what we've been able to teach it musically, because these are computer-controlled devices, and of course we are teaching them music. So, for instance, on a walking bass line, so if you're a jazz player out there, you start to realize when you work with a bass player, the one thing the bass player doesn't want you to do is step on his note. All right, they hate when you do that. So a nice jazz voicing for a 13 chord would be E flat on the bottom, A, D, a G, a C, and an F. The bass player is walking in F. I didn't play an F in my left hand. How does he know? All right, B flat. I played a D, an A flat, a C, an A flat, and a D. No B flat in there, but he's walking in B flat. How does he know? Because that's a hip jazz voicing. Now, it's also great when you give the bass player a chord he doesn't know, he does just what your bass player would do. He plays the tonic. He says, I'm safe here, but he's swinging still. Now, if I give him a ninth, he'll go ahead and walk. All right, you also have tap tempo. All right, so swinging. We're teaching it to swing. So arpeggios have come a long way. They're interactive. They're chord intelligence. When you're working with guitar arpeggios, they will do an appropriate voicing. Even if you don't know the appropriate voicing for guitar, they will do the correct thing. All right, but now we were talking a little bit about chord intelligence. Now, in this particular performance, I have 4 instruments. I have a drummer that I control with my left hand. I have a bass player that I control with my left hand. I have a guitar player that I control with my left hand. And I'm playing lead in my right hand. And notice that how I touch the keys is very much about how the sound responds. So the voicing will be a guitar voicing, even if I don't know guitar voicings, all right? The arpeggios are musically intelligent. So a lot of fun goes into making these, and arpeggios, having 4 of them at one time, allow you control. So the whole concept of being able to put together a groove, have a drummer, all right, have a bass player who is chord intelligence, who will follow what you do. All right, so now let's take apart what's going on here. You have not only control over, these are very flexible. Arpeggios are living, breathing things. These are not just static, playback the same every time. You can interact with them. You can change how they behave. You can change how they feel. They obviously take instructions. So if I'm creating a composition and I have a clavinet part, the bass player will follow my left hand. So I can leave him on any pitch I'd like. If I fed him an F, he'll stay at F until I tell him to do something different. Now, I only fed him one note, so he doesn't know whether I'm playing major or minor. If I feed him a chord, all right, the bass player says, oh, I know, I can fill that in. All right, so they're chord intelligent. No jokes about bass players or guitar players, but the guitar player is chord intelligent as well. You get the idea. You're in charge of the band. It's chord intelligent. They follow you. You can have your verse, your chorus, your bridge, your ending, all set up in your arpeggio buttons for real-time access. All right, so studio and stage, it's all about the motif sound engine in a playable form. The front panel is immediately accessible. On the left side, you have your performance control features. On the right-hand side, you have your selection of sounds. On the back panel, you have a two-device and two-host USB jack. The two-device allows you to connect multiple drives. You can actually connect a hub and have multiple drives. You have real-time access to these drives. You can record both playing and singing because you have an A to D input for a microphone or a guitar. You can plug right in and record yourself to a WAV file directly to the USB drive or directly to 192 megabytes worth of flash ROM built in. The flash ROM means that you never have to worry about losing your USB drive or forgetting it. You can store your sounds, your WAV files, your MIDI files right on board. 192 megabytes is easily 2,000 MIDI files when you start thinking about it. So you have a set list. You have a programmable set list, again, designed for the stage and for the studio. You have Seek Play, which is our sequencer playback. This is a playback sequencer. You can put your set in order. In other words, I might want to call up a multi, which will give me 16 sounds to choose from, and then play back a WAV file. The WAV file could be backing vocals, could be the entire track. It could be just the horns. You have a programmable click. The click is outputable via the assignable outs, so that if you want to feed a drummer a click, you can do that from here. Or you can send the drum kit. You can send a drum arpeggio out an assignable output. So all the options for the stage, you can set up your sets. You can load them in one at a time. You can load in an entire evening's worth of sets and have full access to them. Okay, that's just the tip of the iceberg of the new S series. And we're very happy with it. It's really great sounds, and we could never tell you everything about it. But if you want to learn more about it, please call your Sweetwater Sound sales engineer.